This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Realtors across the Suncoast are on alert over a new scam that are targeting them and home buyers. Some realtors have received letters saying their licenses may be revoked if they don't pay a fee, but that fee goes into the pockets of a scam artist. ABC7's Christopher Bradley is now live in Venice to show us what to look out for. Christopher?
Good evening, Scott. And another scam hacks email accounts of both buyers and realtors and sends a phony account number to wire closing costs to. We're told once that money is gone, it's very hard to get it back. This is a copy of what turned out to be a phony letter warning final notice. Pay $225 or lose your real estate license. The letter is from the Florida Board of Realtors.
Oh, we have no idea who these people are.
That's probably because the Florida Board of Realtors doesn't exist.
The Florida Board of Realtors has nothing to do with either the Florida Realtors, the National Association of Realtors, or for my own board, the Venice Area Board of Realtors.
But, says Venice past board president Eric Kazilius, the letter looks so official it scares some realtors into paying the money. As brazen as the letter is, it's nothing compared to hacking your personal email account.
It's not too hard to figure out somebody's email, dansellsrealestateInSarasota.com.
The hackers are looking for wiring instructions for closing costs. It's usually big money.
The deposit can be anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 or more, and on larger transactions you're talking hundreds of thousands, if possibly millions of dollars.
Hackers often delete the original instructions and replace it with their own.
It looks legitimate because it comes from the title company that you've been talking to.
Dan Heschmeyer is a Venice realtor with Gulf Coast Realty Team. He warns his clients to regularly change their email passwords while going through the process of home buying and ask a lot of questions.
This is the biggest transaction you're going to be involved in. Please call your closing agent and verify that the wiring instructions that you have are in fact for you, my closing agent.
And Korzelius also tells us that the FBI sometimes has a hard time getting the money back if it's lost, especially if the scam originates overseas. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Christopher, thank you. A toddler in Charlotte County is in the hospital after falling into a pool. Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies were called to the home on Lighthouse Street in Englewood yesterday morning. According to a neighbor, a woman at the home yelled, "Call 911," while near the pool. A man heard her and called authorities. Investigators say the toddler was flown for treatment to a hospital for treatment, but have not released any other details. The Coast Guard is asking for help in identifying hoax callers in Southwest Florida. The agent in charge at the St. Petersburg office says over the past year, they've received a steady stream of radio calls along the west coast of the state. Those calls are being made on Channel 16, which is designated only for distress calls. The Coast Guard immediately responds when it gets a distress call, which puts their crews at risk, as well as boaters who might need actual help. Penalties for making a false distress call can include 6 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Florida's red light cameras may soon be coming to an end. This week, the House voted overwhelmingly to eliminate the use of red light cameras, sending the issue to the Senate for approval. Red light camera opponents have unsuccessfully tried for years to repeal the law, which is named after a Suncoast man killed by a red light runner. But opponents of the repeal bill argue local government should be able to decide whether to use these cameras or not, and say the cameras have changed drivers' behaviors.
It truly changed the pattern and the behavior of drivers in the city. And so I truly do believe that these are a safety issue.
What may have started out as a well-intentioned proposal has turned out to be more of a financial incentive for those local jurisdictions. It has become less about public safety and more about revenue.
A Senate version of the bill failed to get through the Senate last month despite broad support in the House. The Senate has also killed the bill in prior years, but could put the new bill through the committee process. One of the most popular festivals in Manatee County is back, and with a huge headliner, the DeSoto Seafood Festival getting underway now at Sutton and Lamb Parks in Palmetto. The three-day festival is now in its 30th year and will be packed with live music and all that great seafood. Local restaurants and oyster bars will have booths with fish, oysters, shrimp, and much more. And on the stage, Billy Rice, the Swamp Boogie Band, Zydeco Junkie, and the headliner, the classic rock band 38 Special. And there's plenty to do for the entire family.
We have a big kid zone, the jumpy bounce houses and some other things like that. And they also have a skydive jump trampoline thing that he's brought this year, as well as there's face painting and lemonade and Kool-Aid, just stuff for the family.
Festival runs until 10 p.m. tonight, and then from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. on Saturday, and then from noon until 6 on Sunday. Gate entry is $5 per day and $10 after 4 p.m. on Saturday. And if you still have plenty of time to check out the Sarasota County Fair this weekend, it runs through Sunday. There are plenty of rides, games, live entertainment on 2 stages, the livestock, and all, of course, that food at the fair. Admission is $8 for adults, $4 for children 6 to 17, and then kids under 5 are free. This is the fair's 81st year. And they've had some terrific weather to enjoy this year. No problems with the weather. Let's find out what we can expect tonight with meteorologist Josh Stone.
All right, that's exactly right. 82 degrees right now. This is actually not the high. We were warmer than this today, and I'll talk more about that when I come back and show you the main weathercast. But as far as what we're looking at in the sky, well, how about that? Sunshine with just a few passing clouds, humidity at 34%, easterly northeasterly wind at 10 miles per hour. The radar remains quiet. This graphic looked a little different yesterday, but not today. Everything quieting down, high pressure in control now, and other than a few passing clouds, very mild conditions for the overnight as lows will drop in the mid to low 60s later this evening. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thank you. The UK's top anti-terrorism officer is providing some new details about this week's deadly terror attack in London. Police say the attacker was 52-year-old Khalid Massoud, who was born in the UK. He had a number of convictions, but until now was not linked to any terror-related offenses. The attack on Wednesday left 4 people dead and injured, at least 50 more hurt. 2 of those injured are in critical condition, 1 with life-threatening injuries. Police in our nation's capital are trying to calm nerves after nearly a dozen Black and Latina girls were reported missing in recent days. But D.C. police maintain there's not an uptick in missing persons cases. ABC's Elizabeth Herr explains.
If you're not familiar with the disappearance of 8-year-old Relisha Rudd, despite her mother's tearful plea on a local station for her safe return, you're not alone.
Come back home to your mother safely and unharmed, and I love you.
Relisha vanished 3 years ago in Washington, D.C. Many felt her case didn't get enough coverage, and she's still missing.
And by the police being transparent and putting out all missing person cases, it brings about awareness.
And raising awareness, according to D.C. police, was the idea behind their recent series of tweets highlighting these Black teenage girls. All 8 reported missing over just 3 days.
I just implemented a process to ensure that all critical missing persons receive the same level of police service and media attention.
Until a few weeks ago, Relisha was the only missing person listed on the department's website. Now there are 38, many of them young Black or Latina girls. That number created anxiety among community members.
We can't go nowhere by ourselves. We can't do nothing because we have to get worried about somebody trying to take us.
But D.C. officials maintain this does not represent a spike in these cases. Rather, they are just doing a better job of getting the word out. According to D.C. police, all 38 people on their missing persons list walked away voluntarily, meaning by law, an Amber Alert does not apply because they're considered runaways. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Some astronauts are wrapping up a spacewalk to try to create a new parking spot for the International Space Station. Astronauts from NASA and France working more than 6 hours on the project, 250 miles up. They mainly focused on disconnecting an old docking port. The port needs to be moved in order to make room for a docking device compatible with future commercial crew capsules. The new port, which will be the second of 2, will fly up late this year or early next year. A digital artist turns images of Mars into a virtual tour. Jan Freumann creating this aerial view of the planet by using thousands of real NASA still images. The artist painstakingly stitched together 33,000 high-resolution images that were captured by NASA's ultra-powerful high-rise camera, which has been orbiting the planet since 2006. It's now an amazing 3D view of Mars's rugged terrain. Look at that. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a benefit of taking birth control. How taking the daily pill could reduce a woman's risk of certain cancers. We'll have the details right after this.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
You know, things can happen in an instant. We never expected Brady to be in an accident. And if he didn't have blood donors, he wouldn't be here.
To Suncoast blood donors and everybody in this community, I'd say thank you. You know, I'm gonna pay it forward.
Florida Studio Theater presents Piano Men, held over by popular demand through April 2nd. Attributing the virtuosity and elegance of the Piano Man, Piano Men features the works of 20th century's best pianists and songwriters. Featuring songs from music icons such as Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder, and Barry Manilow, don't miss what critics are saying is energetic, with fun and playful performances that evokes hits of an era. Piano Men is held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Car experts and customers agree. There's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
If a once daily pill had this side effect, lowering cancer risk, would you take it? Well, it turns out many women already are. With more, here's ABC News senior medical contributor Dr. Timothy Johnson.
For many women, remembering to take their birth control pill every day is a bit of an annoyance. A new study out suggests it may be worth their while to remember it and not just to prevent unplanned pregnancies. Researchers from Scotland recently published a report finding that women who have taken the pill end up with a reduced risk of colon, endometrial, ovarian, and blood cancers, lasting, they now say, up to 30 years. The researchers had been following more than 46,000 women since the 1960s, finding that women who had been on the pill were less likely to develop these cancers over their lifetime compared to those who never took it. The benefits lasted long after they stopped the pill, suggesting women should not take the pill for any longer than they need birth control. However, women on the pill are known to have an increased risk of breast and cervical cancers, but the risk goes back to normal about 5 years after stopping. The net effect, say the researchers, is that the pill should not be considered to be a cancer risk. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
And now let's get another check on the weather with meteorologist Josh Stone.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Our radar remains quiet. Some shower activity on the east coast of Florida, just to the south of Fort Pierce and interior portions, spotty showers here or there, but nothing really to sound the alarm at all. And we do have some of that Atlantic moisture that's causing the showers here on the east coast of Florida, streaming on some clouds over us. But other than that, everything looking pretty mild in our forecast. Temperatures around the area: 83 in Venice, 82 in Inglewood, 84 in Northport and Punta Gorda at this hour. Right now here in Sarasota, it's 82. But what was the high for today? Well, we topped out actually at 83, above the average of 77. No rain, obviously, with the partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies today, but now we're down 5 inches and a quarter. So we really need to put a dent in this drought that we're experiencing right now, and we may get some rain coming in late next week. But as far as the weekend and the rest of next week, looking pretty clear and sunny. Well, how about this? Once again, we're showing this graphic with the tan color on it. Water vapor imagery. This is dry air, and this is the dominant feature on the top of our state of Florida. High pressure and control, bringing that dry air into the area. All right, the big feature here on the weather map is this area of low pressure really cranking up here, dragging up this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of twisting and turning taking place in the lower plain states, so they're going to experience some rough weather tonight. Already a line of storms starting to fire up here, and this is going to be an ongoing thing for the next several hours. So could be a big story with some tornadic activity for them. Unfortunate for those folks there, but for our weather, everything is very quiet. If you're taking the boat out for tomorrow, the high tide will be at 12:28 p.m. Low tide at 6:20 in the evening. High tide will be 11:40 late tomorrow night. Sunrise at 7:28, sunset tomorrow at 7:44. Winds will start off breezy in the morning hours, then becoming calm in the afternoon. Sea is just offshore 2 feet with a moderate chop. At the beach, the temperature will be 78 degrees. 61 for the overnight low, mild conditions, partly cloudy skies for us. And then for Saturday, our high tops out 80 degrees. Some areas a little warmer than this, but I believe tomorrow we will be above the average of 77. Few passing clouds, at least in the morning. Then I think we'll have mostly sunny skies in the afternoon. But a lot of sunshine is the theme in this forecast for the next several days. Upper 70s for highs. We will have more of a, probably by early to midweek, we'll have more of a southwest to westerly wind that will help keep things a little bit cooler, maybe more average-like. Anytime we have an easterly, southeasterly, or south wind, those temperatures are warmer, like what we'll experience tomorrow and on Sunday, but a little bit cooler during the week. And then as we get into Friday and the Saturday of next week, that's the best chance for rain to come back into the area. And let's hope this rain is going to be a little more widespread than what we were hoping for yesterday. We did have widespread rainfall, just not for the Sun Coast yesterday. But let's hope next week happens. And it looks like the models are in agreement to bring a system to come in here to bring us some widespread rainfall. But we'll keep an eye on it for you as that comes together. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. And Suncoast Traffic Watch, traffic still backed up on one stretch of I-75 in Sarasota County. We see this nearly every night. Slow going right now from Bee Ridge to Fruitville. But the rest of the interstate looking pretty good tonight. A lot of green at this hour. A stunning statement from Ford. The automaker expects its profits to drop by half this quarter. Ford says it expects sales to decline worldwide. The company says costs for materials like steel are rising and exchange rates are unfavorable. It forecasts a big sales drop in the Asia-Pacific region. Ford also expects the Brexit to hurt its European operations, which finally swung to a profit just last year. An iconic gummy bear will soon be American-made. The German company Haribo is planning to open its first U.S. factory in Wisconsin. It's expected to bring at least 400 jobs to that area. Since 1982, the company has been the top seller of gummy bears in the country. U.S. production begins in 2020. Overall, the company produces 100 million delicious gummy bears daily at 16 factories in 10 different countries. Yum. Entertainment news is coming up next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can buy one for just $24,999 or save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab during Ram Truck Month. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
Barry Manilow is adding his voice to a concert series in New York City that raises money for human rights organizations. The Grammy-winning singer of songs Mandy and Looks Like We Made It will appear at the next monthly Concert for America Stand Up, Sing Out on April 18th. Manilow will join other performers including Vanessa Williams, Lisa Lampanelli, and Andy Cohen. Proceeds will benefit the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, Southern Poverty Law Center, National Immigration Law Center, and the Sierra Club Foundation. The CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, says the upcoming Star Wars sequel has not been changed due to the death of Carrie Fisher. Fisher completed filming her role as Princess Leia in The Last Jedi before she died in December. Iger says Fisher appears throughout the film and her performance remains as it was. Also, it looks like we'll have a lot more Star Wars movies to look forward to in the future. Iger says Disney is discussing what could be another decade and a half of Star Wars stories. In Kong, Skull Island, Brie Larson plays an experienced war zone photographer, not a damsel in distress. And coming up, she'll play a historical heavyweight, the first woman to run for U.S. president. Larson is set to star in and produce a film about Victoria Woodhull, who ran for president way back in 1872, nearly 50 years before women even had the right to vote. She didn't win, of course, but she did become the first woman to own a Wall Street investment firm. And Amy Schumer will not be playing Barbie after all. Variety reports the comedian has dropped out of a live-action film based on the Mattel doll due to scheduling conflicts. The movie was scheduled to start shooting on June 23rd, but Schumer has a lengthy promotional tour for her upcoming comedy called Snatched, which opens in May. She's also set to begin shooting the movie She Came to Me with Steve Carell very soon. Variety says Sony needs to stick to its June 2018 opening date for Barbie film because merchandise is already in the works. At the box office this weekend, Chips is going to try to ride to a win. The revival of the late 70s TV series stars Michael Pena as an undercover FBI agent and Dax Shepard as an aging extreme sports athlete out to win back his estranged wife. And the Power Rangers are back in theaters. The teen action superhero flick is expected to take second place at the box office, followed by the Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds sci-fi thriller called Life. And almost everyone has a cell phone these days, and many of us love using our camera on the phones to capture memories, and that's exactly why comedian Chris Rock wants you to put them away. Rock is requiring all audience members at his Total Blackout comedy tour to place the phones in a protective pouch. That pouch is designed to hold cell phones and then lock them inside until representatives allow access. Apparently that idea is catching on. Artists like Alicia Keys and Louis C.K. are already getting on board as well. And we'll be right back with more news and your weekend forecast. Stay with us.